Welcome to another occasional video feature here on the Crux YouTube page. I am John Allen, the editor of Crux. That's your one-stop shopping destination for the best in smart, wired, and independent Catholic journalism. You can find us online at www.cruxnow.com. And here in these video features, we like to bring you a cross-section of interesting and influential voices from around the Catholic world. And today, we are especially privileged to be joined by somebody who has been important and influential for a very long time. An old friend of mine, Father Joseph Fessio, founder and grand poobah of Ignatius Press. Father Fessio, how are you today?
Fine, John, thank you. Yes, we are the one-stop shop for good Catholic books and films.
Exactly. So this is a marriage made in heaven, Father.
There it is.
Listen, speaking of all the creative and valuable stuff that you do at Ignatius Press, you have yet another new initiative up and running. Tell us about the creation of Ignatius Book Club for Catholic Schools. Where did that come from? What's it about? And what does it do?
Sure, Joe. We've had this idea for many, many years to help young people in schools have better access to good Catholic books. As I'm sure you experienced yourself as a young boy, Scholastic Books kind of covers the market for children's books in all kinds of schools, Catholic and public. And they've been around a long time, since the late 1920s. They started their first book club in 1948. They started book fairs in 1981, and they've been doing great work. Very wholesome books that help kids want to learn to read. But there's nothing Catholic about it. And we thought, well, it'd be good to have books that, Catholics could be, nourished by also. But we just put it off because we're doing other things. And then recently, some friends of mine noticed some Scholastic catalogs where the featured products were zombie books, vampire books. Catherine Underpants seems to be the big leader, of all their books. And then also a lot of transgender stuff. And so I thought, well, time to rethink this. Well, in the meantime, years ago, Ignatius Press formed a partnership with Bethlehem Books. It's a Catholic community in North Dakota. And they specialize in bringing back in print good children's books, not necessarily Catholic, but Catholic too. And then about 5 years ago, we partnered with Magnificat. They do the monthly missalettes. Well, they're part of a French group that does children's books. And so we partnered with them. And we have now a good supply of good children's books that Ignatius Press sells. And then finally, unlike most other publishers, in fact, all of the publishers I'm aware of, we sell books by the publishers. We have what we call our bookshelf, and our catalog will have, we have a book by John Allen that we didn't publish, but we still want to get it out there. So we buy it and resell it. So we actually have a lot of good children's books and good relationships with a lot of publishers. So we said, why don't I start a book club? We got a website, put the website together. We picked about 500 books and religious articles and things like that. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Last semester, 2018, September through December, we had over 1,000 teachers sign up as book club. So it's just amazing. Anyway, that's how we started. That's why we started. We want to provide good Catholic books, Lives of Saints, character building books, but also books on science, books on sports, books on adventure, that sort of thing, to try and help young people in Catholic schools get good access. And, like you mentioned about Crux, the one-stop site, well, we want this to be the one-stop site for schools because we can vet all these books, not just our own books, but other publishers, and they can come to us and know we can rely on these books. Just like
So, Father, if a school or a parent signs up for the Ignatius this book club from Ignatius Press, can you give us a few examples of the kinds of things that they would be reading, and maybe how that is different from the kinds of stuff that they would get from other book clubs or in your run-of-the-mill Catholic school?
Well, for example, they get access to all our vision books, which are the lives of the saints for young people. They would get the wonderful children's books, those color books, whatever you call them, you turn the page and all the images, that sort of thing. Children's books. John, I'm not an expert on the content, not having any children of my own, with people that have children and are working in these schools and homeschooling. And these are the books that they want their children to have and to read. So Lives of Saints, History of the Church, Secular History. One nice thing about Bethlehem Books, if you go to their site and you're a parent and you want to teach your kids about history, you can pick a period and a culture, and they'll give you all kinds of children's books that were set at that period and culture. So you can actually learn history by reading children's novels. A fascinating way to learn history.
But I take it, Father, this isn't just religion books, because you mentioned there are also books on science and math
That's
and
right.
art and things like that. In other words,
That's
you
right.
can cover every element of the curriculum through the materials that are available through this program, right?
We can, and we're also asking the teachers to give us suggestions for books that they think they would like to see on our program. So we're just getting started. We figured 500 books, that's enough for people to get started. They can't read them all at once anyway.
Well, my experience teaches me that when Ignatius Press gets started on something, look out, because they're in it for the long haul and they'll do it well. So I have every confidence this program is going to thrive.
John, let's tell them to go to ignatiusbookclubs.com, okay? Ignatius.
Absolutely. Well, we will come back to that, I promise you. But in the meantime, tell me this. In addition to the great literature you can get through this program, there are also possible financial benefits for parents and schools for taking part in this thing.
That's right. Uh, First, the bad news is that, unlike Scholastic, we're not printing these books by the hundreds of thousands. And also, they're not all our books. And so we have to buy them ourselves. We can't give huge discounts. We are giving discounts on all the books that are in our book club, and especially larger discounts to Bethlehem Books, Magnificat Books, and Ignatius Books. But every time a parent or a student buys a book, the teacher who organized that club gets bonus points. And those bonus points can be used to buy books, school supplies, religious articles. So not only do they have discounts and a one-stop shop, but they're also helping their classroom, their school to supply themselves with better books.
So is Ignatius Book Club, Father, is this just for Catholic schools, or is it also possible that students and parents whose kids don't go to Catholic schools might be able to benefit from this?
Well, we started out thinking of Catholic schools primarily, but many of our books are not specifically Catholic, and even some of the ones that are general interest of those who aren't Catholic. And so we are going to develop a list and a separate website section, for those who are not Catholic, to have access to all those. And by the way, we have homeschoolers that come to the site, and even parents can go. If you're part of a club with, a classroom, the shipping is free. All the books come to the classroom, and it's kind of fun for the kids to kind of open the books and see who's getting what. But if a family wants to get on, they can do it. They pay shipping though, because we just ship them directly to their home.
But I would imagine there probably would be some Catholic parents out there, even if their kids don't go to Catholic schools, and even if these books aren't necessarily required in the classes they were taking, would think this would be great literature for their kids to be exposed to, and might want to take advantage of it that way, right?
That's right, and also some DREs are having the book club, for the religious education students that aren't in Catholic schools.
So all kinds of possibilities. So tell us this, Father, if somebody is interested in learning more about the Ignatius Book Club, where do they go? How can they sign up?
Well, the best thing would be to email John Allen and ask him, because I'm sure he'd be able to fill in all. But yeah, if that's not possible or feasible, they can go to ignatiusbookclubs.com, and everything they need will be there. ignatiusbookclubs.com, all one word.
Yeah, so that's ignatiusbookclub.com. Again, all one word, ignatiusbookclub.com. I was on there this morning. It is a lovely site, in addition to being quite informative and user-friendly. And all the information that you need about the Ignatius Book Club for Catholic schools, and not just for Catholic schools, as we've learned today, can be found on that site. Father Joseph Fessio, you have been at this for decades. You have been a service to Catholic publishing and to Catholic conversation generally, and this is merely the latest and greatest that you're up to. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you, John. God bless you.
All right, so that was Father Joseph Fessio of the brand new Ignatius Book Club, and you are definitely going to want to check it out if your kids go to Catholic schools. For that matter, if you're simply trying to raise your children in the faith, if you are an educator in the faith someplace, it's a tremendous resource. So please go to ignatiusbookclub.com and check it out. This has been one of those occasional video features we bring you on the Crux YouTube page. Keep checking our YouTube page. In the meantime, please keep going to Crux every day, your 24/7 one-stop shopping destination for the best in smart, wired, and independent Catholic journalism. I'm John Allen, and until we see one another again, have a blessed time.